I'm back with a cave that needs to be beautified. I mean, it's already looking beautiful. It's got a dragon statue in it. What more could it possibly need? But actually, it could use a bunch of a tune-up. And as has been pointed out to me, I should have a crafting bench down here, however much I hate the appearances of crafting benches sitting on around the world. I'm thinking the first spot for me to really work on for cleaning up the cave is putting in a little mini path over there. I'd had a stone cutter down here at some point, hadn't I? There we go, stone cutter added to the growing chest monster in this corner. Okay, that looks far too neat and orderly now, which is a massive disappointment, but it also looks far more like actual stairs and a path, so that's probably a net improvement, even if it is too neat and orderly, and let's see if making it even more orderly annoys me more or less. And I'm not convinced that that's going to look as good as I think it was going to. Let's just check. How does that look? Okay, from this side of the cliff, that looks lovely. But this definitely feels like that's supposed to go down all the way. I have this little run in the terrain that just looks like it's in want of stairs. You know what, I think I might keep some of the natural cave wall on that side, though I am going to fill in that ravine. And that ravine. So, up next step, bang more walls into place. Using boring ordinary stone, which I will then cover over with fancier stone. And placing this is going to make all of that gravel fall. Too bad. Oh good, I still get to have some cursed floating gravel. Gives the cave a real natural feel having cursed gravel. Where did that zombie come from? Also, it has been officially uninvited. Begone, zombie. I'm aware that that's a weird indent in the cave, but caves are full of weird indents. And that actually looks like a very nice weird indent in my cave. I'm not sure what's supposed to be going on there, but I think it works. That needs to go. I'm going to use dripstone in plenty of spots around the cave. That is not the spot in the cave I want the dripstone to go. Now to retexture all of this so that it looks pretty. One of the first steps of which, of course, is going to be replacing all of the dirt at this level with something not dirt, such as, say, cobbled deep slate veins, or basalt. Could use some more basalt in the overworld. Remember when I used to have scaffolding? Yeah, neither do I. That clearly looks like a spot where there should be basalt. Yeah, that's a nice solid looking basalt clump. Except it needs to be spikier. The next one goes into covering up the dirt here. Or replacing the dirt. I'm not overly picky. I'm perfectly capable getting the blocks where I was actually aiming them. And I think the rest of that dirt vein can be covered over in a different material. Because I feel like this basalt vein looks about right, actually. Does a far better job of looking right and finite than the one over there that I'm going to have to put a clump of budding onto it over here to make it fit better. I think dripstone vein, because that'll set it off while still maintaining that same sort of verticality and presence. And yeah, that looks like around the appropriate shape. Here, let's sprinkle some more glowberries on through. Because glowberries do a great job of lighting things up, and also just of filling up the space, dripping on down, lushening up my caves, because sure, this is a dragon cave, but I'm still our favorite lovely elf. And the last of my deep slate gold. I would ask what happened to all of it, but I think I know, and I think the dragon is sitting on what happened to it. And there we go, new and improved deep slate ore vein instead of boring deep slate vein. Why do I not have deep slate diamonds? You know, I could come to like the deep slate copper as a subtle offset. The ordinary deep slate. I love my stockpile of deep slate redstone. It looks so good down there. That's exactly how this entire cave should look. Like that sparkly everywhere. And I said I was going to replace all the dirt. Dirt be gone. Okay, I'm keeping, I think, the fence. But the chains can go. It doesn't really feel like the top's working to support it so much as being a barrier. Whereas if I were to put the chains over here, I guess they'd still look like a barrier. But I feel like they fit much better on this side of the cave. Provided I can figure out how to place chains. But yeah, the chain and the fence don't get along together. And I think I do like how the fence looks. But that might be simply a sign of the fact that I am a sucker for Minecraft fence blocks. And yeah, there are definitely plenty of spots where I can get across this fence if I want to go jump in deliberately, which, given that I have an elytra, I often do. But it means that someone actually walking in this cave on foot can come up to the nice safety railing and not go splat. Provided, of course, the dragon isn't offended by these poor fools walking into its cave and decides to come up and munch you. But it doesn't look like they're moving anytime soonish. Looks like they're being remarkably patient. And also it is just a dragon statue. It's not real, right? The dragon and her lovely eyeliner is not going to get up and nom on me for not leaving enough food in with the gold and other tribute. Definitely not something I have to worry about. I think adding a dragon is a good idea. Alright, because dragons are notorious for inviting themselves if you don't make them properly welcome. Got it. Of course, putting in the fences like that is going to make it even harder for me to glide across the cave properly. But minor details. I like how the fence looks, and that's the only thing it needs to do. We're late enough into the season that practicality and I are no longer properly acquainted. Consider yourself lucky that I'm even carrying around a sword anymore. I am, however, not going to take my armor off, because armor includes such lovely things as feather falling, and where I stashed my elytra. So I got a bit too into the flow of building, and not enough into the actually explaining what I was doing or making sure it recorded properly, which means instead I'm just going to comment on what it is I did. And that was, I decided that this central pillar ought to be a basalt pillar, and that this cave section looked really nice as dripstone, or that the dripstone cave looked nice here. I'd initially considered doing the pillar in entirely dripstone, but decided that A, I didn't like it, and B, that I didn't have enough dripstone to carry the pillar on up. So instead the idea is we have the central core of the basalt pillar and then the dripstones growing on around it. And putting that on through, we get to see the first of my special custom ore veins. It's not my deep slate ores. Stone ore. So accompanied by granite. It looks a lot nicer from a distance, where it just sort of looks like the gradual blending of red to stone. And I've added that on in for a bunch of the stuff. And now to move on to the next one, which is, I think, me replacing all of the currently existing diorite veins with a similar trick to the redstone granite, except gold and tough. I think that actually kind of works. A little bit of disrupted stone and plenty of shiny sparkly things. This cave is going to sparkle. And yeah, I like that. That works. Let's go attach lanterns to it. And I'm aware that metal lanterns is not perfectly on theme for my cute little elf. But I am an elf of Titancraft, and there is cold iron absolutely flooding this server. I will have my beautiful lush caves, my glittering stone, and I will also have my metal chains, and spooky lanterns, and redstone everywhere. And there we go, another nice shiny gold vein. I'm really liking how my ore vein substitution trick's coming on along. And it's far less janky than just putting in a solid block of gold ore would be. I don't think I have enough gold ore to do all of my diorite replacements as gold, though. But I also feel like the gold veins I targeted first are some of the most obvious places to put, or most eye-catching spots in the cave. Like that gold vein right there is one of the first things you will see coming into the cave. And it just does a lot to make it feel more, well, golden. Okay, and I think the appropriate flex to go with the diamond is that the stone that I'm using to surround the diamond ore being another ore. I mean, coal ore isn't quite flexy enough, but I think it's also sort of fitting. Coal and diamond are basically the same sort of type of mineral, just diamond's been compressed an awful lot more. and all of the ore veins have a certain degree of eye-catching. So you go to look at, what's going on with that coal ore vein? Hang on, is that shiny blue rocks? That's definitely shiny blue rocks. But the nice thing about my trick of mixing in a few of the ores with an offset block is that it allows you to extend the feeling of an ore vein for a lot longer without having to put in anywhere near as many actual ore blocks. Like, that just gives the feeling that that's part of the same diamond ore vein, even though there is no diamond ore in that chunk of coal. Now for the last piece of absolutely definitely going to happen terraforming in here. There must be no dirt. Dirt be gone. Diorite? Diorite I could live with. Dirt? This deep into my cave? No. Now, is there any dirt left in this cave? Any at all? Good news, everyone. I think I have finally removed all of the dirt. Okay, and I like the iron ore in that vein, but that needs a lot more ore to offset it. My god, am I about to run out of redstone ore? Is that what's happening? Well, that is a distinct improvement. The cave is significantly sparklier and has no dirt veins left. I still need to do something with the vast expanse of open ceiling, but that's what amethyst veins are for. Dragon's oxidized again. It's spreading, but it amuses me that the last part of the dragon to oxidize is its snout, which is the part that's most easily visible. I think I've got enough gold and tuff for one more diorite vein. Alternatively, let's mix things up a little. Get creative. Emerald, iron, and copper. Here we go. Yeah, actually, that comes together to create a nice, softly green sort of vein. I like it. Yeah, that works together. You come on down in and you have this small little area of glittering green ceiling. You don't get that anywhere else. And it makes sense why that would be both have its own special room, and it's fitting that it's kind of hidden from the rest of the cave, because it's not quite like the rest of the cave. And I think I'm going to have both that and up in the ceiling be amethyst, because at this point, that's the only thing left that I haven't properly worked into the main cave. And also, I have this lovely amethyst geode. And it'd be a shame not to absolutely cover everything in amethyst. It's only been a key part of my build palette since basically the start of this season. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check my ravine starter base, but I think I have been using it in every one of my build palettes this season, and that is because it is the best block, and I will fight you on this. I might not win, because I'm not good at Minecraft PvP, but I am prepared to get into a fight to defend Amethyst's honor. Okay, and I think the cobbled deep slate does look like it'll work to offset the amethyst. They've both got that sort of odd sparkly texture to, or odd circular texture. The deep slate's tiling, and then the amethyst. That moment when I'm casually building my cave and trip over another diamond vein. Hey, I caught it on camera. For the pics where it didn't happen, crowd, I've got it on film. It did happen. And just in honor of that, 1 diamond ore. And now for the fun part of this one. And I know I can stick it off the sides of the blocks, but I feel like it looks much better in the vertical orientation, so it's going to be in the vertical orientation. And I figured it out. The last ore vein needs to be going up in, last diamond vein needs to be up here in the tunnel, so that visitors coming on in know that this is going to be a cave full of riches. And let's work some more amethyst on up my tunnel. Because amethyst is a lovely block, and if I'm going to be using it as frequently as I am, this cave could benefit from a few more dots of purple. Then again, is anything in any cave in Minecraft really harmed by the addition of more amethyst? Yes, but not this one. This one works well with the amethyst. Let the amethyst flow through you, cave. Channel it. Grow ever stronger. And that needs to abut into something. It doesn't work floating by itself. So, let's kill off the last of my gold ore. Have I got enough granite to put in another granite redstone vein? Barely, but yeah. Okay, no. Oh no, I have plenty of chests, more granite back at my base. Which is not a block I thought I was going to need to pull out of my chest, but this is why I hold on to all sorts of weird blocks. You never know when you're going to decide that actually today's the day I need another 3 stacks of granite, because I think I'm going to smooth out some of the jankiness with my early starter cluster there that's leaning on itself so heavily by filling in there-ish with a granite redstone vein. Okay, and that is me out of gold ore. However, that's also the absolute last diorite vein in this. I started to say that and then found 2 more. Gosh darn it. What do I have to do to banish diorite from my cave? So between episodes I'm going to come through and probably tweak the interior of this section to have a lot more basalt in the ceiling, just because those spike patterns to me very much look like the jaggedness I associate with the basalt. I should have brought in some of my deep slate redstone up with me. Good news is, a platform this big, I'll probably be able to get back up there. All the way back up to the very top of the cave here. For the best possible glide path. And yeah, the deep slate redstone there works as a transition between my idea of the amethyst vein as a very deep slate sort of vein, and then the ordinary redstone. Okay, that's still a busy mess, but the inclusion of that amethyst vein just does a lovely job of making that chunk of busy mess mesh better with the walls. It integrates that clump on down the cave wall, which is exactly what I wanted the amethyst to do. And it's lovely looking at the amethyst crystals through the glowberry vines. I have this habit a few times of using the amethyst to look like it's patching up a deep spot. Like if you scrape the cave far enough, you'll find it bleeding amethyst, and therefore filling in the indents in amethyst there just fits with what I've done in a few other spots around the cave, and gives me an excuse to scatter more of these on around, but also gives me an excuse to scatter more of that on around. And I think with that, the ceiling's done. We have some integration there. Ugh, no, the ceiling's not done. That border needs to be busier. But I can't have it be a redstone vein because I'm all out of ordinary redstone. I could, however, make it be a deep slate redstone vein, because I've still got... I was gonna say I still have plenty of deep slate, but that is apparently untrue. I could also put a basalt spike in here. Just a tiny one. Not every basalt spike needs to be this epic biome. I can put in tiny little clusters. Right. Time to go retrieve all of that extra deep slate I have sitting around, because that can't be another amethyst vein, and that section of floor needs a little bit of decoration. But I think that ceiling is now finally busy enough to make it so that the dripstone and basalt spikes that I started with don't stand out as obnoxiously different from the ceiling around it. And it eases out into this small section of unadorned cave, just so that you have got the ability to look in from somewhere and actually see what's going on. And I think I am going to sprinkle a trail of these glittering on up, because this is the path leading up to my amethyst geode. And it would be wrong not to have a little bit of a marker. And hey, they give more character to my little railing here. My cave looks so nice and sparkly, and I love it. And I think that's a good enough spot to end the episode. With a cave I'm happy with. And theoretically, all of my season projects completed, except I've added a few more small tasks to clean up. And of course, we haven't yet gotten an end date for the season. So I'll find more things to do, and more videos to make.